People around here trust the shepherds. Jamie, Adam, and the other Jamie. They always have. The sheep trust them too. Gather round, I'll throw another log on the fire and turn it up just a touch, cause another episode of the BHHcast is starting now.
Brand new episode of the BHHcast starts now. Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam
Haig.
We join an interview with Paul Virzi, already in progress. I have very conflicted opinions about LeBron James.
Oh, me too.
Oh, sure. I think everybody does.
And there's a part of me that wants to root for him to lose every time. And then I think, is he maybe actually a good guy, and I just don't like the way he plays basketball?
Yeah, I think he could
like
be
that.
a good guy.
No, he definitely, that's the thing. It's like, he's a good dude and a good father, but he's just been, you got to understand something too. LeBron James has been the guy since he's been in sixth grade.
Right.
Like he's been, nobody's told him no, everywhere he's gone. So, but his entitlement, like even the fact that he was like going, what did he say recently? He goes, you know, whoever came up with this play-in thing should be fired. Why? Because you guys were injured and tired, like, and you guys didn't play the whole, like, it's almost like anything that goes against him, he's kind of a baby with, but then you find out like he's a good dude and a good father. So Jamie, I totally get that with you, man. I get into arguments with people, you know, about him all the time.
Yeah, I get the feeling like he thinks he is the NBA right now.
Well, and
at the same time, I think he probably is an okay guy, but he's yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
He should invite me to hang out with him sometime so I could sort it out.
Right.
Right?
I bet he's an asshole to hang out with.
No, how could you, I
don't
think
think so?
he's super generous.
You think he's a cool guy?
I think rarely are the guys that achieve that level of success.
Assholes?
Right. They just, I think it's harder to be consistently a bad guy over time than it is to be a good guy over time.
What about Curry? Do you think Curry'd be a fun guy to hang out with?
He'd be amazing.
I heard,
Yeah.
I heard I know somebody that knows, like, Curry is, like, I think really, like, super cool and, like, down to earth and fun. You know, I know a buddy who met, and he was just so cool, like, easygoing. Yeah, I think LeBron would be, I think if LeBron liked you, I think it's one of those things where, like, if he clicked with you, it would be great. But I also could feel, because he does think that, you could tell, though, even though he's got a little arrogance. But they all have to a little bit, right? Jordan, they said, was the biggest dick. Yeah,
right.
Jordan was a dick, but you kind of have to be a little bit. You can't be, like, that globally iconic and be, like, without a little, I mean, unless, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would.
So let's say, hypothetically, we'll create a hypothetical situation. You're out, you have the opportunity, you're out with whomever, you run into whoever LeBron's out with that night, his guys.
Yep.
Do you feel like the price of admission into the group is figuring out who in his group it's okay to make fun of?
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
There's a turtle in the group, if you will, from the entourage, right?
Yeah,
There's a turtle.
But I think you have to read a guy's group to go, who is the okay guy to kind of break balls of?
Who's the turtle?
Yeah, because, and that's a tricky one, because when it's just on a one-night basis, like when it's one-off, right? This is a one-off. You don't know if the guy that normally is the guy you can go at is either just being quiet, like not around, and then you think that it's one guy and you start talking some shit, and then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, and now you're like completely black. You're like, whoa, no, that guy's in the bathroom right now. You can't do it to this guy.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like you're being a huge jerk right now.
Well, but so we've all been in that circumstance, right? Where you're like, you're picking the guy to be like, all right, I'm going to go
We're
at
making
this
fun of
guy.
this guy, right? Yeah.
And if you guess wrong, you are never in.
Yeah, no, then you're out. And the guy might even like get a little, sometimes that guy doesn't like it either. Like he's just like, hold on a second. These guys make fun of me all the time. You think you can come and hang out with us one night and make fun of me?
But if you pick the right guy,
oh yeah, the rest of the group supports it. Yeah,
you're in.
Oh yeah,
you're in for good. And you'd be like, how'd you get in with LeBron? And you'd be like, I picked the right guy.
Right, pick the turtle.
It's like a scratchy.
But no, how arrogant though do you have to be to get that chance? And that's where your mind goes.
Right, exactly.
Like, I would just be so psyched to be just drinking with these guys. I'm not going to be the asshole going, all right, who am I shitting on? That would be such a like the ego and balls on that person would be astounding.
I think the way to do it though is to pick one of the guys and challenge them to a dance off.
No, it isn't.
No, it is. It absolutely yes, it is.
I'm pretty sure that's never the answer.
No, because you challenge them to a dance off. One, they may appreciate just the humor of that and say, "Come on in. We need someone who's willing to walk up to a
You're
group
the
of guys
crazy guy
and-
that'll
yeah.
do dance offs,
Right?
And you become okay. So wait a minute.
That's a reach,
That's
but
an
interesting.
error. I'm going to tell you right now. That's 100% error. You know why? Because you're forever in LeBron's group as crazy dance-off guy.
Oh.
Right. So now you're never able to enjoy your night out. You have to go out and be like amusement for the rest
do
of
the dance off thing.
No,
Do the dance off thing.
Dance off.
No,
Dance
no.
off.
You're
Dance
not
off
the, you're
guy.
not the joker. Like if now it is true that if they find themselves in a situation where someone challenges the group to a dance off, they're bringing you. They need to keep you around in case there is another dance off challenge.
Do you live in 1950s musicals?
It's interesting.
That could be
by the
1950s
way,
musicals. That could be 90s movie.
Mary Poppins, those chimney sweeps, they don't all get together and dance.
If you want to be valuable and stay in that
Yeah.
group, you have to be able to. Number one, you have to be able to look like a nerd and be able to transform yourself to the hot girl. Right? You need to be able to like take the hair out and walk slowly down the stairs, and be able to find yourself in.
Okay, there I'm with you. You take off the glasses, you drop the hair, and you're suddenly you
Right.
go from this Jamie, the guy
Right.
who's talking and ruining this
Hold on a
flow
second.
here. But
So, Paul and I apologize that you're having to listen to any
this
of this
is painful.
conversation.
But it's good that you know with the other Jamie before we get started.
Yeah. You're saying that somewhere in LeBron's group there is a person who has a secret identity that's based on glasses removal and hair shakedown?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they want to stay in the group, there's someone in that group who realizes at any moment they may have to pull out the, "Oh, I'm not actually who you think I am."
I don't
that's
think,
interesting.
I don't think you know how groups work.
I think that's heavy.
Our guest just said that's interesting.
It is.
No,
but
I think
because he's being polite.
are we all just kind of pretending to be something else? That we're worried about becoming found out? That we're all nerds with our hair down?
I don't know, Adam. Take a
Heavy.
seat on the couch.
Well,
Let's tell us.
I don't think LeBron James has many people in that circle or group that like would kind of combat anything that he wanted done.
Oh no!
Like, I think that it's kind of like a bunch of yes men. I'm sure he likes these guys, but it's just all like pro. Like, I don't see any of them really breaking his balls a lot at all.
It could be that LeBron.
No, it's Braun first.
Maybe
And-
LeBron would do the dance off, and he'd be terrible. But
Okay.
the guys would all be like,
Okay,
"Oh, he's
we're done
amazing."
with
No.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. I actually
we got a show to start.
no.
here at some point.
So we're in the show.
Okay.
We're in the show.
We're going to start the show now.
I actually think you raise an interesting point, Paul. I actually think the key to long-term success is always having a person who is able to put you back in your place. That's not your spouse. You got to have somebody who's able to give you a correction.
Do you think there's a guy in LeBron's circle who is a corrector?
There is somebody who has the ability to say things, say them in a way, do something different.
Keep him grounded.
Keep him
in
grounded.
a way where you're like, how funny would it be if we were all wrong and he was like the weak link and we just showed up to a bar and they're like, "Nice hairline, bitch," and like they're just sitting on the lawn.
Or they take the salt, pour it on their hands, throw it in the air. They're like, "Who am I?
Yeah.
And like
I'm the
we're
moron."
sitting there, and we're sitting there with a Corona, all confused. Like, dude, are they allowed to talk to him like that?
Who is this?
And Jamie's sitting there with his. He's like, "Is LeBron the turtle?"
So the most assertive he is in his life is on the court.
Yes.
And off the
Otherwise,
court.
he's
like, I've never been able to pull it off the court.
No, all his buddies, and that's why he's so good on the court. Is because he's actually compensating for all the abuse he takes everywhere else.
Right? He wants to interject in a conversation. Easy, LeBron. We'll come to you when we're ready.
Can you just shush it for me, big fella? Just shush.
Yeah,
just
LeBron,
shush
get
your
the
mouth.
drinks already.
Yeah,
like they
easy.
go get the drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, put it on my tab. Yeah, right. No, your tab.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
That's all. Like, get the drinks on your tab.
Yeah. Right. Too funny. All right. So, Paul, this is This is the BHHcast. I am Jamie Bendel. Jamie Hearn and Adam Haig are the other hosts of the show. You host 73 different podcasts?
No, I actually cut it down to 2. I do the Virzi Effect podcast, which I've been doing for a really long time, except like once the pandemic happened and I built a studio in the home, that's when I was really like, I'm not going to say I didn't take it seriously, but it was kind of just like an audio podcast. I would talk to the fans that came out to see me at the show, tell some stories, some sports, some movie stuff, and then be out of there. But once like this happened, this craziness that we all just went through, I was like, all right, man, let's really build the studio. Let's get it on YouTube. We'll do the Zooms with guests or whatever. Got a producer. So this is kind of like the Virzi Effect 2.0, if you will, and it's just kind of really revamped. And then I co-host one with Bill Burr. We've talked about doing one for a really long time, and finally during this, he hit me up and was like, hey, man, like, because we would talk on the phone for like an hour, like a day, and we would just say, oh, dude, how great of a podcast would that be? So then we ended up coming up with the Anything Better podcast, which we've done now for about 4 months, which is going great. It's sports, kind of like what we just did, but also regular life stuff too. So I have those two, and that's kind of it for now.
No more Gun to Your Head.
Gun to Your Head is just put on hold. It was kind of like a season where I had a bunch of people do that, and we might revisit it, but right now I'm just building the YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
Great concept though, right?
Yes, it was a lot of fun because when you just came up with a choice like that, right? Like we just talked about right before, it was like, all right, if you guys could hang out with LeBron James and his crew, or you could hang out with, and then let's just say either Jordan, his crew, Steph Curry and his crew, gun to your head. You got one night, you're going to be with the guys for 5 hours drinking, and who would you, and then we would just break down why. And it was really a good conversation, but it could be food. It could be anything. It could be like, you know, whether it would be sports or real life and stuff. Would you rather be locked in a room with an anaconda snake or just a hungry bear, and you got to just hang in there for a couple hours? Like, what would you rather? And we would just argue it, and it was hilarious. So it will probably come back, or definitely be in a segment on another podcast.
What was the most surprising choice that didn't go the way you thought it would?
Oh, the most surprising one that I'm trying to think. There was one where, there was one. All right, this is all right. So you have a family. You're a community guy. Okay, everybody in the community knows you and loves you and your kids. You're a good dude. You're a good father. Gun to your head, would you rather be caught cheating on your wife and everybody in the community and everybody knows that?
I appreciate you whispering that as you set it up.
I like that.
Yeah,
He looks around the house.
I don't even want to say this too loud. Okay, hypothetically.
You want to laugh? The funniest part about this is I'm in my 11-year-old son's room right now. And I swear to God. I'm like staring at Darth Vader. Yeah, I'm literally staring at like a stormtrooper's helmet. So you get caught cheating, you show up to all the sports games, they whisper, or you don't get caught cheating, but you get caught like masturbating in your car in like a parking lot during the day. Right? So you're just you're about to go into Kohl's or Target.
You only pick one.
You can only pick one. So
and
now
you're caught in either.
You're caught in either. So now they're either whispering, "Oh, dude, he didn't cheat on his wife. Dude, I heard he was like playing with himself in the car in a park." And then there's all that going on. Or, a guy lost his family. He was cheating on us. For me, it was easy. For me, it was an easy one. For me, I said I would 100% rather be caught cheating on my wife, because you don't know if we had marital problems. You don't know if she was doing something. You don't know what was going on in the marriage. So at least, there may be mutterings of that, people talking, but that happened. But one of my guests was like, no, I'd much rather get caught, jerking off in like a parking lot of Target. And I'm like, dude, it's like 3:00 in the afternoon. Number one, that's just the worst way to go to your daughter or son's basketball game and have people in the bleachers whispering about that.
You definitely want to be the cheater, I think. I agree.
So Paul, I get a kick. I have to tell you, I get a kick out of, so when you ask the question in a very specific but also open-ended way, right? It allows you to create the scenario that's most favorable to you. Right. So when you say it's like 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm like, 3:00 in the afternoon? I got busted in the parking lot at midnight. What are you? Like there was nobody there. I was completely by myself.
Yeah, and there also was a strip club at that Target. But come on,
Whatever. Like it makes much more plausible sense. I got cheating in Kohl's in the dressing room at noon. What?
Yeah, you're
That
right.
wasn't
That's
my
really
hypothetical.
funny. Yeah, that's hilarious.
every mom at that basketball game, she's like, oh well, there's 2 women that found him attractive enough to hook up with him. You know, the pervert one is
Yes.
basically like, oof,
Okay.
that's a kid's a pervert.
All right, so
That's all there is to it.
This happened to me today.
Oh,
I went to
Whoa.
Which one of them?
timely.
No.
I went to Kohl's.
Pause. Stop.
I think it was the Target one.
I set that up poorly.
Okay.
Let me transition differently. Let me introduce a new subject matter.
Yes.
Today,
Yes.
I went to Publix to get a sandwich at the deli counter. There was a person in front of me who ordered a sandwich. And do you know what his order was? Whatever the person making the sandwich favorite order was.
Wow, that's
So-
bold for lunch.
It is crazy and such a jerk move.
I mean,
So the guy making the sandwich says, "What kind of sandwich do you want?" And he says, "I want the sandwich that you would make for yourself if you were making a sandwich right now."
And I'll bet you're hungry. It's
Okay.
lunchtime, and you're going to make your sandwich that you want, but then have to give it to me and see it go away.
Unrelated.
No,
I'm thinking it's the jerkiest thing to do to
so
say.
one, I'm not sure it's the jerkiest thing. Because the guy, I mean, I've seen it where like,
Masturbating
if you
while
ask a
ordering
waiter
that
or a
sandwich
waitress,
would be
like,
the jerkiest thing to do.
too far.
Too far.
But if you ask a waiter or a waitress, like, what do you like to eat? Isn't that essentially what the guy's asking?
Totally different. Because if you say,
I think it's what about this though, Jamie? Because now wouldn't that be something? I feel like that's something you would do. You know, like, listen, as a straight man, that's something I would do with a woman, like flirting.
I'll have
right?
whatever you're having.
okay, now,
Like you want a conversation. So you go, what do you like here? And she's like, well, I like this thing I do with like turkey, but I put some hot pepper. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, that
Whatever
sounds
your favorite things make. That's it, right. That seems like, so that's like a weird thing it almost seems like, it just seems like a weird thing to do. I'm not saying that it's
okay.
I don't know. That just seems like a weird thing. Yeah.
Well, let me add additional detail.
Okay.
The person ordering the sandwich was a guy on his break from that store.
Oh.
So he's now saying to a coworker, make me the sandwich that you would make yourself.
No.
And I thought it was like a super aggressive kind of power play-y,
oh,
like,
Yeah.
make me your sandwich. And I thought if I was the sandwich guy, I would think, I'm going to make you the worst sandwich ever.
Yeah.
And
How
be
do you
like,
like olives and bologna?
Yeah.
I think this is something
Eat it.
different, actually. I think that the supervisor was there. The one person making the sandwich said to his buddy, go around and tell me to order that sandwich that I do really well, so that they could then make the perfect sandwich in front of their supervisor. So they
So
were
I was actually the person at the store, and if that had been part of the story, I would have included it. This was 2 random people.
spoken like a true lawyer. Yeah. No. I had everything clocked.
Yeah,
I
this
knew.
guy shows up and he basically says, make me your sandwich, right? And I was thinking, and frustrated the guy on the other side of the counter. He's like, do you want turkey? Do you want a white? He's like, make me what you would make.
I shall have your sandwich.
I shall have your favorite sandwich.
You shall give me your sandwich.
Yes.
What do you love? I shall take that from you.
All right. So now, later today, the guy who cuts my hair was unavailable. I went in to get my hair cut.
You don't
Not
make an
available.
appointment?
I don't make an appointment.
Okay.
I'm kind of an on the fly. Today's the day.
Okay. This
Need
has
a
got to
haircut.
happen then.
Okay. He's apparently out of town for 6 weeks. It's problematic.
Yeah.
I need a haircut sooner than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So the woman who's now working the counter says, I'll cut your hair. So I kind of got haircut bullied.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you said, you do whatever you like. Do your favorite haircut.
I actually had a moment where I thought, if you wanted to find me appealing, how would you cut my hair?
You said that?
No, but I did think of it relative to this guy's
sandwich, yeah.
sandwich thing.
Did you ask her to make a sandwich?
No.
How do you think I'd look handsome?
How do you think my hair should look?
Ugh,
And I realized that's
Gross.
such a highly specific request,
so gross.
right?
Yeah.
To be like, I know this works for one person.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or is it kind of like the sandwich guy and you're like, you know what? I'm going to give you the worst haircut ever because you're going to play that kind of nonsense.
I go to school. I went to school in D.C. Went to an old classic barbershop, like the Italian barbershop, and there's 5 chairs right in this barbershop. And men just you'd come in and you'd sit down. And what I always loved was there was the barber that no one liked, and that barber would always you just go next man up. And the next man up would get up there, and he would always be like, next man up, and everyone would be like, I'm going to wait for Julia. I'm waiting for him.
All right, Paul, we're going to be back with more of the BHHcast right after this. Our guest this evening, Paul Virzi, more after this.
What's your favorite kind of cereal?
I'm a Frosted Flakes guy.
Ooh,
Ride or die.
ride or die.
Ride or die.
I have got a seasonal cereal.
Seasonal cereals?
Peeps cereal. It is only available during Easter. I look like a psychopath because I buy literally dozens of boxes of Peeps cereal.
Is it like a Easter version of a different cereal?
Nope, it's just Peeps cereal. You can only get it at Easter, and
you
it's amazing.
purchase that.
I purchase dozens of boxes every year, and it lasts me through the year.
Okay. I don't know what Peeps are made out of, but give it exposure to air for any length
gets
of time.
bricky real fast.
Oh, it is super bricky.
Do you know that they have now created, they've gone way too far with the flavors. They have fruit punch Peeps, they have root beer Peeps, they have every flavor you can think of.
You know what Peeps should taste like? Marshmallow. And that's it.
With a little sugar on the outside.
But you,
Yeah.
but you
I
know what's
tried a
interesting?
pancake and syrup, and you know what it didn't taste like? Pancakes or syrup.
I thought we were talking about cereal.
We started talking about syrup.
So what's your favorite cereal, Adam?
He
no,
said.
I didn't.
No, he
Yeah, he
didn't.
did.
Oh, okay.
Did?
All
What did I
right.
say?
He said life.
Did
In a
I?
different episode, yet to be heard. And I remembered it because the conversation was earlier this evening when we're recording this now. I mean, I know I'm bending the time-space continuum.
Yeah, you can't change your answer in the past from what you would have said
Or
in the
the
future.
future.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I am Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam.
Here it comes. Right back. Swinging for the fences, and it's goal.
Hey!
Love that.
Paul Virzi is our guest tonight. Paul, it's great to have you. We want to talk about in this segment is the concept of a meet and 3. You've spent a number of years out on the road as a comedian. You have surely had the opportunity to eat in a cafeteria-style restaurant where meet and 3 is the format. True?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in our discussion of this, here's how we utilize the concept. In your life, what is the meat? What is the organizing principle around which everything else is organized?
I guess I would have to say, family, because as a young comic, I was one of the, you could ask all my friends. And the funny thing is a lot of my friends in this business are anywhere from 5, 6 up to 11 years older than me. And they were like, man, you did it early. So not having a family wasn't anything that I was going to do. Like having a family, I was probably even too naive. I'm like, I'm going to be a comedian that's successful and have a family and start that in my 20s. And I didn't realize, but that was always a thing. So I would say the meat is definitely my family and my home base and my personal life, the stability in my family and personal life. I would think that. And then everything else.
Excellent
would be
answer.
after that.
We don't accept it. New meat.
No.
What?
That's
No,
exactly
family is outlawed. You can't do family.
All right,
You
all right.
can't do
Drugs
family.
on, all right,
was
drugs
that
on the
new rule?
road.
When did-
No,
hold
are you
on a
kidding
second.
me?
Hold on a second, Paul.
That's like saying you can't order chicken.
Yeah, when did you?
That's like
when
saying
did
you can't have the
Yeah.
brisket.
You know,
I
when
mean,
you go
family's
into,
like,
wait,
okay,
hold on
we
a
get
second.
it.
You go into a meet and 3,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you know what they're going to have every time for you? Meatloaf. You
I
know
know.
why? Because meatloaf is family.
I know.
Right.
That's what we
Yeah.
have. It's an
I know.
organizing principle. It's around
no,
which we can go.
he's
Now
sitting
you're
there-
basically saying you're not allowed to do that.
No, he's sitting there in his 11-year-old's room looking at a stormtrooper helmet, knowing that he has to say family or else they're going to say, you didn't say family?
Are you-
I'm giving you a free pass.
Oh, I didn't-
I'll just
wait,
wipe
wait.
out this family stuff
So back up a second.
and just give you a real answer.
So stop.
Well, first of
Here-
all, I don't think my 11-year-old and 9-year-old is going to listen to this podcast.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you. The only way
but
that
they're the only
happens.
ones.
I mean,
They're the only ones who
I
aren't
don't know.
listening.
We're pretty good at SEO. Paul.
That's you. I was going to say the only way this comes up conversationally is someday Paul is on his deathbed. Child comes with a confession and says, I was trying to gather all of the content that you created over the years, and I found this random episode from a BHHcast where
Yep.
you said, family?
Family, please.
Well, when you guys ask that question, you guys have this segment a lot. Do you ask that question to a lot of people?
We ask it every show.
Right. And
No one
so
says
family
family.
is a common one or not a common one?
No.
Family.
It's all over the board.
It's all over the board. Sometimes
Family's a good one.
We bleep out. If you say family, it's already been bleeped out.
It has not been bleeped out. Family's a great answer. I don't feel it was under duress because he's in his
Hold on
son's
a
room
second.
or anything.
Hold on a second. Let me just clarify for the person who's just picking up where we are in the episode.
Yes.
Right now, at this moment,
Yes.
Jamie is making fun of LeBron.
Oh, I didn't
He has
realize that.
guessed wrong. He is giving LeBron a hard time.
Yeah.
Right? And the rest of the
did
entourage
not
is
pick
going,
Turtle.
oh my goodness.
Oh,
you
shit.
do not go at LeBron.
That is so
Make
true.
fun of Cleveland next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say Akron
just
sucks.
a kid from
I dare
Akron.
you. Say Akron
oh, yeah.
sucks.
This will go well.
That is so true, and also affects a bunch of editing decisions that I'm gonna have to make later. But okay,
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
I'm
Stick with
sticking
it.
with it.
Good.
Double
You're
down.
getting your meatloaf.
Double down.
So then, in
Okay,
addition to the
before you go
meatloaf-
to that, when you hear this episode, and I hope you do listen to the episode, the answer to that question may not sound exactly like your voice. It'll be fairly close, and it may not be family. But go ahead.
Okay, so now
No, sorry.
we have family. Here's the other part, the second part of that question. What's your three? What are the three attributes that you would like people to most closely associate with you?
And oh my God, if you say loyal, I'm gonna do it.
Man, that's tough, dude. It's like, I'm in all seriousness, like I was just talking about this with a couple comedian friends of mine. Like, I have a different approach. As you guys know, man, we're in a time right now where, and I hate to say this because it's even some of my peers, but there's a desperation amongst entertainers and comedians right now that is ridiculous. And when I say it, I mean some of the things people are willing to do to get followers, what they're willing to say, what they're willing to wear, like all kinds of like just wild shit that you're just like, dude, like your family's going to see this one day. Or, I just always look at like how when, Jamie just said something like when you're later on in life, like our kids will listen to what we do. You know what I mean? And I have friends that are doing shit, like I said, putting on, makeup and running out and doing man on the street, anything to get like more followers. So I guess one thing that I always want to be associated with is like, there's just certain things that I'm just not going to do for that. So I guess you could say like maybe like I know this is going to sound, I don't want to sound corny, but like a realness or a genuineness. Cause like I'm not doing, even during this pandemic, dude, some of these comedians standing on the back of pickup trucks, with like a karaoke machine that they got at a toy store. They're yelling at strangers walking by. I had, rooftop shows, some things that I just, now I got friends who are standing in plexiglass boxes, like a human fish tank telling jokes, and they're putting pictures on Instagram and shit. I'm not doing that. So for me, I would say people know that I definitely have a self-worth and kind of a genuine thing, which is something that, a lot of my fans, a fan of mine sent me these custom-made Adidas sneakers, and it was like he put my name on it, and he did all this kind of brush spray, all this cool stuff. And one thing it says on the back of it is "stick to your guns." So for me, I think that's definitely one of them. And I know I'm giving you guys answers that you don't want.
No, that's good.
No, we do want.
Yeah. All right. So the other two.
Oh, man, I guess a good time, man. I'm a Jamie, when we go on the road and we go out there, cigars, sporting events. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll do a couple of bourbons anytime I can. So I definitely love that part of, I guess it's a little different than the family part. But yeah, I have that for sure. Big
Last
time,
one.
actually.
Now we're getting the truth.
Oh, man. I like to go to department store parking lots, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, preferably cold.
I'm
No,
into self-reflection.
What you want people to associate with you.
Yeah.
Third one.
My God, third one, dude. I guess. You know what? You're throwing me because you said the loyalty thing. I guess like my word.
Hold on a second. Don't let him.
Don't let the angry chef. If you want soup, you can have soup.
He's copped an attitude for tonight in the episode. If loyalty is an attribute that you feel like that's something that's important to me, and I want people when they go, listen, for all of his merits and all of his faults, Paul was a loyal guy and stuck to his guns.
So we got a fun guy. We got a guy who doesn't sell out as a result of desperation.
Yeah.
Jamie's got that speech down just because we're 15 straight episodes with a loyalty answer. So
come on.
But go ahead.
I think. Yeah, I guess this falls under loyalty, but I would say like if I say it, like for example, I work at the Punchline, right? I love working at the Punchline. You guys have worked me there from a young comic to not now. Now that I'm kind of, I'm moving up in the ranks of comedy after years of headlining. And let's say some hotshot goes into Atlanta and says, I want you doing my club and this and that. That just won't happen. So, that, depending on what they offer me, we'd have to talk.
I was going to say, well, but you know what? So here's the thing, Paul. And so you raise a good point, and I know that it is an interesting one. I would like to think that our relationship is separate and distinct. Personal relationship is separate and distinct from a professional relationship.
Yes.
Right?
Is that what a boss says to someone right before they fire them?
No, it isn't. But my point is that I know that at the end of the day, you go back to your house, you have responsibilities to your wife and your children. And if you were to say, so listen, I got 2 offers for Atlanta today. One is X at the Punchline, and one is X plus whatever at some other place. And if for whatever reason that wasn't something that I could do because the business part of it doesn't work for me, I would wish you the best of luck in your success at that X plus. Because that's the way life works.
Right. And that's why
Are you trying to slip in a loyalty answer also, Ben?
No, I'm just saying that I think that I do think that there's something to be. I think loyalty is undervalued. And betrayal is not what people often make it out to be.
Okay, for my children who someday are listening to this, I agree. Loyalty is important and underrated. For the purposes of this episode, I will say that I believe that Paul's answer of semi-loyalty is far more interesting than loyalty.
Semi-loyalty. It's really just don't forget your roots, right? Like don't forget the Jamies of the world who helped you out when you were, when you were coming up.
Well, and what I would do is, and I appreciate what Jamie said, but what I would do is, and Jamie would expect, because listen, there's a lot of people out there that would go, and probably some of the same people we're talking about this desperation, like you said, like, a TikTok video in a song, jumping into a pool saying, hey, I'm going to be in Omaha this week or whatever they're doing. Now, God bless them for doing that, but I don't necessarily think that person would even think twice, or some of those people wouldn't, I should say. I don't want to judge anybody. I don't know, but with me, I would call Jamie and I would go, hey, Jamie, look, here's the deal, man. You and Chris have been great to me. This guy's opening up a place. He offered me whatever. I just want you to know that I'm not going to do. And then if we talked about it and he goes, listen, go and do that. We'll try to work something out. But the idea of me just running to do that and him finding out through like social media tweets and that would just never happen. Never happen.
Perfect.
All right, that's a great close to Meet and 3. We are going to be back with Lightning Round. Guest this evening, Paul Virzi, soon to be apparently playing an alternate comedy club in the Atlanta metro area. We will be back with more of the podcast right after this. All right, so before we go back to the guest, what's going on with you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the attack of family? The attack of...
I wasn't attacking family. I was attacking family as an answer because it's the most obvious meat answer. And I wanted to create a little tension because if you read Podcasting 101, it says make sure there's tension.
Pick fight with guests.
First off, I didn't realize there was a Podcast 101 book.
We all know that.
And I haven't seen it yet.
That's for sure.
Oh, so now it's not just the guest, but you're also going to attack me.
Podcast 102 is pick fight with other people in the room.
Yeah, you want to go there, we can do this all night.
Yeah.
This will be great.
Okay, so listen, when you go on Amazon and you search books,
do you think you are coming at me like that?
Wait, do you go to Amazon and just search books?
Oh, I've read Podcast 101. I'm a big deal.
I'm gathering you do because you're reading Podcast 101.
You got something to say to me?
Don't read self-published
I already
books.
said.
I'm the fucking talent.
All right, welcome back. This is Lightning Round segment here on the BHHcast. Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam.
Boy, here it comes. Gonna get the touchdown. Give me some.
Haig.
Okay, that really let it down a little bit. But anyhow, the sheep love this segment. I see them jumping up and down in the field. They're getting excited. It's time for the lightning round.
All right, so unlike me and 3, Paul, this is the opposite. These are deep questions, but we are looking for brief answers. Okay? Guest gets the choice of going clockwise or counterclockwise.
Be careful here.
I'll go clockwise.
Clockwise.
Here it is.
All right, starting with Jamie Hernan.
Paul, which animal would make the best sidekick in an action movie?
A white tiger.
Paul, is there a God?
Yes.
Have you ever thought you were going to die?
Yes.
All right, so you come upon a super content grizzly bear, and he is content because he is watching a circus bear juggling. All right? And they are exactly equidistant to you in your position. Which one kills you first and how?
Well, that's easy because I know about grizzly bears. So the one that's going to kill me is going to be the one that's juggling.
Good call. Best TV dad of all time?
Alan Thicke in Growing Pains.
Well done, sir.
How did you get your best scar?
A skateboard accident.
You are putting together a basketball team with 5 different animals. Which animals do you choose?
I would choose a giraffe. I would choose an ostrich. I would choose a gorilla. I would choose a my God. Hold on here. Yeah. I'm literally going through the jungle but thinking that. I'm going, all right, we got the rebounder. Who's gonna run the point? I would say grizzly bear, they could go up to 8 feet, and then maybe a chimp.
Best cereal, healthy, and sugar.
Well, it's got to be one cereal or 2.
Okay, Jamie's giving me a hard time because it's lightning round. So, best cereal, go.
Life.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's healthy, but you got a little bit.
You answered that so well because it's kind of a sugar, kind of a healthy.
Yeah, it's a sugar healthy. Yep.
Well done, sir.
All right, am I the finalist?
This closes the lightning round. This is the big one, the grand finale, if you will.
All right.
You know what? I got to say something. This is amazing, actually. It's like a really good. I love the segment. But go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You can wear only one: home or away uniform.
Away.
I think that's a good call.
All right, that's a good call.
Yeah, I like that because they usually also have the names on the jersey when they're away. Anyhow,
first of all, and Jamie, you know this, as a New York Football Giants fan, that white away that actually says Giants across the helmet is, I think, one of the best uniforms in all the sports. So I would, and I love the white away too. So I would definitely do that.
Paul, you find yourself parachuting out of an airplane tandem with an animal. Which animal would you prefer that to be?
The lightning round is
lightning
finished.
round's over.
Oh,
that was the grand finale.
So wait, if I jump out of a plane and I have to be accompanied by an animal?
Right, tandem. Yep.
Okay, no. So let's clean up the question. Okay. 1, have you ever done skydiving?
No, I wanted to, and then I completely lost my nerve, and I have zero desire.
Okay. Now, when you skydive, you are going to tandem skydive, which means you're going to have a companion with you.
Oh my God, man! This is lightning round.
No. Well, it wasn't because it's bonus round.
We've
so
actually,
wait a minute. When you say tandem, you mean this thing is strapped to me?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Now something is strapped to you. What do you want strapped to you, plummeting towards the earth? And, by the way, you also have to count on that animal to have some sense of self-preservation so that it will also pull the chute.
I had the right answer to this, but go ahead and give me your answer.
I think, listen, I was thinking of all kinds of other animals, but I think a dog, And the reason why I say a dog is because I think that since dogs have good senses of what's going on, and especially with humans, I think as we got closer to the ground and we slowed down and we were going, I think it would start to realize we were getting closer and feel my energy and hopefully be like, either that or, just start running and rip me apart. So, but I think I would say a dog.
I was going to say cat because they land on their feet.
No, not important. I wrote down the correct answer before you answered, and I'm going to go now show my piece of paper to Jamie. What does it say right there?
Says dog.
Yep, it says dog. You're
Yes.
exactly right. Boom!
Yes. Yeah.
So
because listen, yeah.
I
Go ahead.
have this notion in my head. So I have 2 dogs.
Oh, no. And
One
we've talked
of my
about these
dogs is the greatest dog in America, right? Best dog in America. That dog we're going to go out. It's going to sense the situation.
Yeah.
It's going to say, I have a job here. I'm going to do my job.
That dog
Right.
would have piloted the plane.
He's checked the chutes. He's
Checked it, checked everything.
He's like,
it's already got
back
a
up chute.
It's got
I've got you.
I'm assuming it's a pull cord or something
Yeah.
that's on like a paw mitten.
He's like,
and it just has got to
Dad, we got this.
stretch out there. And the other dog, who is the worst dog in America, I'm going to be plummeting to earth going, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Pull the chute. Who's a good boy?
He's just scratching you. He's just scratching you. Going, I can't do it. I don't know what to do.
I can't do this.
He's just scratching the hell out of your back.
The dog's going to be calmer than you. Yeah.
Absolutely calmer than me, right? Yeah. All right, so let's come back. We'll do a quick wrap segment. That's lightning round with a bonus question. I'm
Yep.
glad that we have some unanimity, at least
Yeah,
partial unanimity.
there was a right
about
answer,
what's
there was a
the-
wrong answer, and
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah. By the
Cat.
way, well, and
Lands on
it's
his feet
Cat, shut
every
up.
time.
Yeah,
You
stop
don't even
with
have
the
to pull
cat.
the chute. He just
Enough.
lands on his feet. You're fine.
okay. Here's the alternative way of asking that question. If you had to choose one animal to be strapped to the back of tandem parachuting, which one would it be?
Oh,
Ooh.
let's think about that over the break. We'll come back.
We'll think about it over there.
Yeah.
All right, podcast. We'll be back after this. Guest Paul Virzi. All right, so I'm never going skydiving.
Why not?
Not anything that's on my bucket list, and I have too great a respect for gravity.
Okay.
I think the 3 of us should go skydiving tandem.
What do you
All
think
together.
about?
Triple decker?
Triple decker?
Well, it'd actually be a quad jump because we would still need one guy to run parachute. Okay, so let me ask you the question. You have just raised the subject. I am a slice of bread in the Bobcat sandwich.
Oh, me too.
I am not
Yeah.
in the middle.
Dibs.
You created. I think you volunteered to be in the middle.
Yeah,
No,
you're
I
a
didn't.
middle guy.
I didn't volunteer to be in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you by creating it, you
And
did.
actually, there are only 2 slices of the sandwich. It is first person and guy with parachute. And I can't be guy with parachute. I am first slice.
You just
You
said you
two-
don't want to go, so that means you're going to be middle because you just want to keep
I'm
your
not
eyes
middle.
closed.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm there against my will. I'm front slice.
No,
You're the hump
then
seat.
you're seeing everything.
No, you guys are both middle slices.
If we're in the back seat and that's our
can't both be
parachute,
middle
you are a
slices.
hump seat.
All right, let me ask you this question. In that scenario, is it slice in the front, slice with the parachute, double meat? Or is it slice, meat, slice?
I'm happy to answer that question if you will just not use meat as the reference term.
You know, you have volunteered to be the meat in the meat sandwich, which is a quad jump.
First of all, excellent harmony there on that what you just said.
We've been
We
working
have a
on
boy
it.
band.
Yeah. And second of all, I call dibs. I'm outside. You're middle.
You
That's
didn't
it.
call dibs.
I
I
did.
claim slice.
No,
No,
you
no,
did. You
before
did.
that,
You're
it
the
was
first
even-
kid in the
did.
car.
Yeah.
You're literally sitting on the hump.
No, no.
Jamie and I came in both doors.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Enjoy the hump, boy.
Yeah.
Ride the hump, kid.
Okay, I think we worked that out. I'm outside.
I don't think we worked out anything.
All right.
Slice life. All right, welcome back to the podcast. I think we have time for one more segment here with our guest, Paul Virzi. You're excited about the dates that you've got upcoming this year? You got a full calendar planned?
Well, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff now and a bunch of stuff coming in. So going to Florida tomorrow, and then a bunch of stuff. Austin, Salt Lake City. Doing my first theater this year at the Wilbur in Boston this fall.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good, man.
You can whisper that you're going to be in Atlanta.
Hey, listen, I'm going to scream that from a mountaintop.
Yeah.
The Laugh Factory in Atlanta.
Brand new Laugh Factory.
No.
It's two things. I'm finding out two negative things. One, Paul's not coming to our place, and two, I'm gonna have competition.
And there's a competitor. What? It's been a bad night.
What? Yeah.
What you want to do? You want to make a left at the diner for the new place.
You're using my place as a direction finder? Conveniently located 1 mile from the punchline. What? This seems cruel.
So
right.
I don't want to leave the sheep hanging, though. We had a great end to the last segment, and I'm concerned about the tandem animal would you like to be attached to question. I think it was a good one, and I don't want to leave it.
Oh, I would pick something without claws.
You're attached to
Or
it, I
wings.
understand.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to be able to get you because you're on its back.
I don't want a panicky animal.
Okay. Fair.
I want something possibly dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what about like a sloth?
No, you need something big with mass. I would do like a big pig, like one of those, or like a boar, or like just a big, those big fat pigs that just sit there. Like I would be strapped to that because if it goes down, it's really not fast. It's going to probably absorb your fall.
Yeah.
And they don't really there's no claws. There's no real, so I would do that.
What about gray whale? You could just plummet straight down and you just kind of bounce in and bounce up.
No. I would be fearful.
Yeah,
I would be fearful there wouldn't be enough chute.
And how do you get a gray whale on a plane?
Yeah.
It's a big plane.
Yeah.
This is real stuff we're dealing with here. We're not going to be able to get a whale
We're
on the
asking
plane.
hypothetical questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if this ever comes up in my life and they ask me which animal, I want to know the right
Problem with
answer.
the gray whale. The problem with the gray whale
Hold on
is
a
that
second. I think we have inadvertently invented the world's greatest 8-year-old birthday party. We are doing combo petting zoo and parachuting.
Let's do it.
right.
Honey,
How did none of us say elephant?
Yeah.
How come none of us said elephant?
I don't trust, again, elephant in Cessna seems very sketchy.
No, I think the gray whale is perfect, but the problem with the gray whale is that you will survive the initial fall, but then you will bounce off the gray whale back up way high in the air, and you will not survive that fall.
You're assuming a lot of stuff. 1, you can get the gray whale on the plane. 2, that the water can get on the plane. 3, that the chute doesn't open, and you have to rely. The only reason you're picking an animal is so you can get a good bounce.
Yeah.
That's not the right answer, bud.
I'm not worried about the shoes.
Here's the other issue with your choice. I'm not really good at science concepts, but I'm going to suggest that at some point you go into a weird somersault barrel roll because of the mismatch of your masses, and you take a 50-50 chance that you're going to wind up on the bottom side of a whale sandwich.
Just crush.
when you hit the
Snap.
ground. Yeah.
And
That
does the chute even support that big an
The
animal?
the only question I think
Don't
any of
need
us
to shoot.
Again, the videos I've watched of people tandem parachute jumping, you have one job as the little spoon, okay, and that is get your feet up when the ground shows up, right? Your only job is to tuck the knees and let the actual person behind you land this thing,
Right.
So I think
Right.
when it comes time to be tandem attached, and your big spoon
Oh,
is only animals with hips.
a
Yeah,
whale?
Could
Could you imagine trying to get that whale to kick his legs up?
Bend your tail. Bend your
Come
tail.
on, big fella!
Come on, big fella. Bend your tail. Right?
It's just going to be a blubber explosion,
Yeah.
and you're going to go flying.
Oh my God! The farmer comes out in that field. He's
you're
like,
on
"The
the-
hell
you're on
happened
the-
here?"
Wrong end of a blubbery blowhole that's blowing snot at your
Oh,
goggles,
God.
trying to guess how to read your altimeter. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So online we've got the podcasts, Virzi Effect, and the new one with Bill, which is blowing up. It's a great
So good.
listen.
Yeah, Virzi Effect, Anything Better with Bill Burr. Got the YouTube channel, which you guys can subscribe to. And yeah, I'm going to be, if you go to paulvirzi.com, you could get all my dates, Side Splitters in Tampa this week. Then I'm going to be in Austin in June, Salt Lake City in June. And like I said, dates are coming in. So paulvirzi.com will have all of the ticket links are available right now. And hopefully, Atlanta, Georgia will be on there real soon.
Atlanta will be on there, whether it's our place or the new place.
Real soon.
All right. It's always good to talk to you, my friend.
a lot
Continued
of fun.
success. We'll keep in touch about the NBA playoffs this year, Hawks, Knicks, and
always a pleasure, man. Good luck with the Hawks. Hopefully, you guys are going to need it. And listen, that lightning round was so fun. If anybody ever drops out, hit me up, man. I'll do them.
Right.
Okay, we'll
All
bring
right,
him
buddy.
back.
Be good.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, later.
All right, that was Paul Virzi, a comedian, terrific guy. Always great to have somebody who brings the heat. Remember to like, subscribe, share our episodes. The only way the flock works is if the flock gets bigger after every completed episode. We have finished another one here. This is the podcast. The sheep are dismissed. For Jamie, and Adam. Taka.
Fire's getting low. This episode of the BHHcast is over. Time to go home now, sheep. Go on, back to where you came from. We'll call you back when it's time for another BHHcast. Taka.